Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.
On the morning of May the 30th, 1921, a young black man named Dick Rowland was riding in an elevator in the Drexel building at the third floor and met with a white woman named Sarah Page. The details of what followed vary from person to person, depends really on who is telling you the story. Accounts of an incident circulated among the city's white community during the day and became more exaggerated with each telling. Tulsa police arrested Rowland the following day and began its investigations. An inflammatory report in the May 31st edition of the Tulsa Tribune spurred a confrontation between black and white armed mobs around the courthouse, where the sheriff and his men had barricaded the top floor to protect Rowland. Shots were fired, and the outnumbered African Americans began to retreat back to the Greenwood district. In the early morning hours of June the 1st, 1921, Greenwood was looted and burned by white rioters. Governor Robertson declared martial law and National Guard troops arrived in Tulsa. Guardsmen assisted firemen in putting out fires, took African Americans out of the hands of vigilantes, and imprisoned all black Tulsans not already interned. Over 6,000 people were held at the convention hall and the fairgrounds, some for as long as 8 days. 24 hours after the violence erupted, it ceased. In the wake of the violence, 35 city blocks lay in dire ruins. More than 800 people were treated for injuries, and contemporary reports of death began at 36. Historians now believe as many as 300 people may have lost their lives in that incident. Now, in order to understand the Tulsa Race Massacre, it is important to understand the complexities of the times. Dick Rowland, Sarah Page, and an unknown gunman were the spark that ignited a long smoldering fire. Jim Crow, jealous, white supremacy, and land rust all played roles in leading up to the destruction and losses of life on May 31st and June 1st, 1921. In 2001, an official race riot commission was organized to review the details of the event. No one will ever know the absolute truth of what happened during the hours of the race massacre. However, by examining historical resources, members of the Race Riot Commission determined a number of details to be undeniable. These are not myths, not rumors, not speculations, not questions. They are historical facts and records. Black Tulsans had every reason to believe that Dick Rowland would be lynched after his arrest. His charges were later dismissed and highly suspect from the start. They had cause to believe that his personal safety, like the defense of themselves and their community, all depended on them alone. As hostile groups gathered and their confrontation worsened, municipal and country authorities failed to take actions to calm or contain the condition. At the eruption of violence, civil officials selected many men all of them white and some of them participants in the violence, and made those men their agents as deputies. In that capacities, deputies did not stem the violence, but added it, just added to it, often through overt acts that were themselves illegal. Public officials provided firearms and ammunition to individuals, again, all of them white. Units of Oklahoma National Guard participated in mass arrest of all or nearly of Greenwood's residents. They moved them to other parts of the city and detained them in holding centers. Entering the Greenwood district, people stole, damaged, or destroyed personal property left behind in homes and businesses. People, some of them agents of government, also deliberately burned or otherwise destroyed homes credibly estimated to have numbered 1,256, along with virtually every other structure, including churches, schools, business, even hospitals and libraries in the Greenwood district. Despite duties to preserve order and protect property, no government at any level offered adequate resistance, if any at all. To what amount? To the destruction of Greenwood neighborhood. Although the exact total can never be determined, credible evidence makes it probable that many people, likely numbering between 100 to 300, were killed during this massacre. Not one of these criminal acts was then or ever has been prosecuted or punished by government at any level. Municipal, county, state, or federal, even after the restoration of order, it was official policy to release a black detainee only upon the application of a white person, and then only if that white person agreed to accept responsibility for that detainee's subsequent behavior. As private citizens, many whites in Tulsa and neighboring communities did not extend invaluable assistance to the massacre's victims, and the relief effort of the American Red Cross in particular provided a model for human behavior at its best. Although the city and the county government bore much of the cost for Red Cross relief, neither contributed subsequently to Greenwood's rebuilding. In fact, municipal authorities acted initially to impede rebuilding. Despite being numerically at the disadvantage, black Tulsans fought valiantly to protect their homes, their businesses, and their communities. But in the end, the city's African American population was simply outnumbered by the white invaders. In the end, the restoration of Greenwood after its systematic destruction was left to the victims of that destruction, while Tulsa officials turned away some offers of outside aid. A number of individual white Tulsans provided assistance to the city's now virtually homeless black population. But it was the American Red Cross, which remained in Tulsa for months following the massacre, that provided the most sustained relief effort. Morris Willows, the compassionate director of the Red Cross Relief, kept a history of the event available in full under documents section of his online exhibit. In recent years, there has been ongoing discussion about what to call the event that happened in 1921. Historically, it has been called the Tulsa Race Riot. Some say it was given that name at a time of insurance purposes. Designating it as a riot prevented insurance companies from having to pay benefits to the people of Greenwood whose homes and businesses were destroyed. It also was common at a time for any large-scale clash between different racial or ethnic groups to be categorized a race riot. Tulsa Mayor Gitty Bynum launched an investigation into long-standing oral history account of mass graves and various sites in Tulsa, alleged burial sites for scores of mostly black victims of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. Mayor Bynum continues to emphasize that this process, which may be long and tedious, is an investigation. Hey, there is no certainty for sure. There is no certainty that one or mass graves will be located. The investigation is geared towards answering, as best we can, the ring-a-ring historical question originating through oral histories about the existence of one or more mass graves linked to the massacre. By this undertaking, we honor our oral history and its tellers. This history, separate and apart from its truth, has varied. Who told what to who? Why? Was it accurate? These are all questions worth exploring. The current mass grave investigation seeks to address those questions and more. It deserves the support of the entire community. But hey, what do you think about the 1921 Tulsa race massacre? Thank you so much for watching African Diaspora News channel and the African Diaspora News Insider. My name is Osie The Born Child, and hey, don't you forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll be seeing you in another video. Love you all. Bye-bye.